Hello guys, welcome back to another exciting video. So in today's video, we are going to go ahead and look at a real world application of this AI agents system that we have been looking at so far. So when it comes to AI agents, right? So we have been going over the theory, learning about the programming, building different aspects and building different projects, right? So one of the projects that we looked into was the customer support agent, right? So we built this using code, adding both long-term and short-term memory to our customer support agent. So in this video, I want us to take a look at a different application of this AI agent in a real world scenario. So this video has been sponsored by Lyzr, and Lyzr is a platform that we can build these AI agents that can have both long-term and short-term memory capabilities, and a lot of the things that you have discussed and furthermore, right? So you can add more capabilities to your AI agents by using a simple to understand GUI interface within your browser. You can build these agents. You don't actually have to write the code for them, but in this series, I've been looking at the coding aspect of things, right? So I also want us to look at the non very, you don't have to be so technical about it, right? So I just want us to look at that aspect as well. And thanks to Lyzr for sponsoring this video. So let's jump into it. So this is what you're going to be building at the end of this video. Basically I have this website, right? So we can imagine this website belongs to a client. Okay, so this client sells like motor vehicles in Nairobi, Kenya. So I'm currently in Nairobi, Kenya. So I just imagine this imaginary website or imaginary motor dealer called Karibu Motors. So basically that's what this whole website is for. I just built it from scratch. Just we can use it for trying to like get a sense of the real world application where we can apply agents. So this Caribou Motors sells motor vehicles in East Africa, right? So if you go on website, you find this kind of interfaces, right? Yes, so you have find this kind of interfaces, so you can click on, and then this chatbot pops up. So how can you build an AI agent that you can incorporate into in here, right? So this AI agent can have tools like to schedule meetings, like tools like access to your Google Calendar and different sort of tools, right? So how can you build this for this business? So imagine that this Caribou Motors came to you and you're saying that you can build things using AI agents, right? And they ask you to build a system whereby users can chat with their kind of like their website and can do different things, right? Or schedule meetings and stuff like that. So as a developer, one way you can do this is sit down and write the code from scratch to do this, right? If that's what they want to do. But if they're okay using third parties, then you can go ahead and use different software to build such applications, right? So that's what Lyzr can help you to do. So Lyzr does not only help you in that aspect; it provides a lot of solutions to enterprise and business as well, right? So AI agents, one of the problems that AI agents have is the inability to handle very complex tasks when it comes to going into production, right? So they don't scale very well. They have a ton of problems, and the inability to handle complex tasks is one of the bigger issues that this AI agent has. So Lyzr promises you an AI platform whereby you can build AI agents that do not have all these problems, right? Like inability to do complex stuff. So we can build these AI agents just in our GUI. And this is going to be very easy to do because if you've been following along with the video from the very beginning, we have looked at the technical and the programming aspect of things, like writing the code from scratch ourselves. So this will give you a very intuitive understanding once you go to the platform. Okay, so this is just the website of the customer, like our imaginary customer in this case. And let's go ahead and try to build a chatbot that we can embed within the client's website. Okay. So once we have this thing here, Caribou Motors Assistant, which is basically our agent, and you can go ahead and ask the question. So let's ask it. Let's go ahead and try to ask it. Let's ask it more about SUVs. So I'm interested in SUVs. So let me just try to ask it to tell me more about SUVs. So tell me more about the SUVs you have available. So once I ask that question, it's going to go ahead. So it's going to go to Lyzr, and I'll show what Lyzr Studio looks like. So it's going to go to Lyzr, the agents on Lyzr, and then get the answer, and then it's going to go ahead and display the answer right here. So you can see it's loading. Once it's done doing that process, we should get the answer back from our agent, which is running on Lyzr Studio. So let's just give this a bit of time, and the AI should respond to us in no time. So we ask it a question about SUVs, so we should get anything related with SUV. So yeah, that's basically it. So there you can see I got the response back. Right here you can see it gives me information about all the available SUVs. So it goes over the Land Rover and all this information. So how did it get this information from? Uh, like you can see there, you also mentioned the Lexus XR 540H. I don't know if that's pronounced. Okay, you can see gives me all the features and all that stuff. So how does it know all this information, right? So that's we're gonna go ahead and build an agent that's gonna be able to do all this stink stack, all this kind of complex stuff for us. Okay, so let's get started with it, and you can let me just go ahead and show you how we can go ahead and build this agent. So that's basically it. You can just minimize the agent. So let's go in here. And we're going to go to Lyzr Studio. So once I'm in here in Lyzr Studio, let me just go ahead and give you a view or basically an introduction of Lyzr. So if you want to search for this, you can just go online and just type to Lyzr. So Lyzr stands, the spelling of it is Lyzr. So press enter and then you can click on Lyzr AI and you should be able to find it right here. So click on Agent Studio. And once you click on Agent Studio, it's going to bring you in here to this website. Okay. To this page. So once I have this screen loaded up, now you can see the number of agents I have, the tools and all those stuff, right? So let me just go ahead and try to interact with this. So let me just take you through each section here and explain to you exactly what each section does and the options that Lyzr makes available for your businesses and enterprises. Okay, so I'm going to click on agent right here. You can see I have two main agents created, which is the one you have been using so far is a Caribou Motor Support Assistant, which is this one right here. We also have, I created another agent as well. And you can also go ahead and see agent marketplaces. So let's say that you're not very technical or you have not watched my other videos on AI agents and you're not really into building things from scratch, right? You just want to pick up something off the market and begin to use it. That suits your business case. So again, Lyzr has you covered in that aspect. So we have this thing right here. You can see we have different agents that you can just pick off and begin to use. So one of the agents that I really like so much is the banking support service agent. So you can go ahead and click on any of those agents. You can watch the YouTube videos associated with this agent. For now, this agent is just a demo. So I'm going to click on launch agent. And once I click on launch agent, you can see I have these two views right here. So I have two views right here. We have the user view and the assistant view. So this is basically the user view. The users that will be using your chatbot. This is what they're going to see, right? So if you embed your chatbots, let's say that you have a bank and this is your bank's website, you can have that chatbot embedded. So this is what the interface the user would see, right? You also have the admin panel, so you can go ahead and ask any question right here. You also go ahead, you can also go ahead and click on the admin panel, and the admin panel provides you a ton of features as well. So one of the features it provides you is a ticket, right? So if you ask the AI a question that it can't really answer, it will raise a ticket, and this ticket is gonna go to basically an actual human. So you can see the ticket has been assigned to these specific people or emails, right? So if you ask the AI a question that it can't really answer, right, it's gonna push that raise a ticket, and it's gonna be going to a human who can handle that question better, and it has priorities and statuses. Okay. And then we also have knowledge bases. Okay, so if you've been following along with my my YouTube videos on my channel, we have talked about RAG systems and all that. So those are knowledge bases, right, that agent can have access to. And we'll look into that in depth more on as the series goes by. So we can also go to training. So if an AI answers a question that is basically unable to answer, you can go in here and write your own custom answer that the AI can answer the questions based on that. So in the future, if someone else comes in, the AI will be able to answer the question that it failed to answer previously, right? So we're basically training the AI on how to answer questions better. For example, you don't like an answer right here, you can go ahead and modify the answer so the AI learns on how to handle the situation better next time. So we also have the analyst, right? You can see the analytics, like number of total sessions, questions answered, answers by AI, and all those. You have all those stats. You can go ahead and customize your agent if you want to, and you can go ahead and also add more agents, more people to your, basically maybe you have multiple employees. You can go ahead and actually add this employee details in here. So if you don't like, you're not a person who likes coding or building things from scratch, then you can come in here and pick one of these agents and use them, right? So what that's we can also go to knowledge bases. So knowledge bases are just exactly as the name sounds, a knowledge base. So like agents, right? LLM systems or AI agents, they have been trained on general knowledge on the internet, so they're not very aware of your specific business, right? In this case, we have Caribou Motors, right? So ChatGPT is not aware of Caribou Motors or what it does in detail. right? So sometimes you might want to go ahead and build your own knowledge base, like information about uh, this website, Caribou Motors, right? What you want the AI to be, to have information about your company. And then you can then connect your agent to that knowledge base. So basically, it's like a database for agents, right? So for your AI agents to refer to if they can't understand something or ask the question, they can go to a database, retrieve some information, and use that information to answer the question, instead of trying to be very general and trying to use the general knowledge that they were trained on. Right? You can be very specific, train them according to what you want them to know. That's what knowledge bases are. And we'll look at this when you're creating our Caribou Motors agent. So we go to models right here. So when you mean models, we may basically mean LLMs or large language models. So at Lyzr, you have a couple of large language models. You have the OpenAI. We have, and then OpenAI has a bunch of models like the O1 and all those things that underneath. We have the AWS Bedrock. You have Anthropic. You have Google. We have Grok, right? If you want really speed, you probably go with Grok, right? Grok. And then you also have a Hugging Face, and then also other models are coming as well. So stay tuned. And then you can also have tools. So tools basically, one of the things about agents is that they're able to interact with the real world, and that's what makes them agents in the first place, right? So instead of just them being a chatbot, right, which can answer questions, it doesn't really bring much value, right? So you want them to be able to do things in the real world, and that's where tools comes in. So if you take a normal chatbot, add it to it tools that can enable it to execute things in the real world, then you basically have an agent. So we have a different kind of tools. We have the calendar tool, we have YouTube tool, we have Slack tool. There are a ton of tools right here, right? So we have the Twitter tool, Spotify, Gmail. Let's say that you want to connect your um, calendar app to your agent. Such an agent can do things like scheduling events, scheduling bookings of your customers. So if a customer goes in here and wants to do a booking, right, you can use the calendar tool to schedule that booking, right? So you have the YouTube tool, Discord, ClickUp, Spotify, just a ton of tools, right? So now we have looked at that. You also have data connectors. So if you're running as a business or an enterprise, right, you have your data stored in multiple places, right? The data may be stored on Postgres, others may be stored on more on the MySQL database, others may be stored on Azure SQL, or you simply have files, or you want to store it on Redshift, BigQuery, Google's BigQuery, Wave8, or Quadrant. You can connect all this data to your agents to do the use of these data connectors, right? And we also have the tab for responsible AI. So one of the things people are worried about is that AI is not very responsible and can do different things in the wrong way, right? So with responsible AI tools, yeah, it can give us make AI to be more accountable. And we'll take a look at this more. For now, it's still in beta, but let's take a look at, go ahead and click on agents. So let's go ahead and click on agents right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create new agent. So we need to give our agent a name. So I have this tool prepared right here. It's going to give me, just make sure I can use copy pasting just to save time. So let me just close this window for now. Just going to paste the agent name right here. So I'm going to be using 02 right here. So let's say version 02, it's fine. And then you pass in the description of the tool. So let's say motors, let's say Caribou Motors agent, yeah, agent. Okay. So once you have that, you can go ahead and select the models that you talked about. So we have OpenAI, we have Grok, we have Anthropic. So just select the model that you want to use. In this case, I'm going to go using OpenAI. And then you can go ahead and select which OpenAI model that you want to use. You can use the O1 model, the O1 preview, the O3, which is the latest one. You can choose exactly what model you want to use. And then specify the role of each agent. So let's say you are a customer, customer support agent, right? Customer support agent, right here. And then you need to pass in the agent, basically the instructions for this agent. So I have a bunch of instructions written right here that I want my agent to behave in. Copy those instructions, go in here, and then I'm going to go and paste those instructions right here. And then you can use AI. You can click on the improve, and it's going to use the AI to improve these instructions, right? Okay, so once that's done, you can go ahead and select the tools. We talk about different tools, like, so let's say that you want your AI agent to be able to schedule meetings and do other stuff like that. You can add those calendar tools right here. And then you can go ahead and give it basically an example. You can add examples right here if you wanted to guide your AI more, but I'm not going to do that in this video. So once we have that, you can go ahead and add in knowledge base. Do you want your agent to have access to knowledge base? Yes, I do. So click on that. And then you select which knowledge base you want your agents to have access to. Okay. So let me just show you how you can go ahead creating these knowledge bases. So let me just go ahead and just say open this in a new tab. Go in here and let's try to create our own AI or knowledge base. So go ahead and click on knowledge base and go ahead and give it knowledge base a name. So let's say Karibu Motor Support Agent, let's say V02, right, for version 2. Give it a description, knowledge about Karibu Motors, that's the bigger description. And a vector database, you can use either use Quadrant or Weaviate. I'm going to be using Quadrant. And if you're not Quadrant is, you can follow along with my, you can check my previous videos. I have done a ton of things about Quadrant. And you can go ahead and specify which open AI model that you want to use. So once you have all this passed in, you can go ahead and click on Create. Right, so let's say, oh, the tool, okay, must have, okay, I need to use things like underscores or Karibu underscore motors, and then they say underscore, sorry, underscore v02. Okay, once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and click on create, and that's going to go ahead and create my knowledge base right here. Okay, so my knowledge base has been created. Now I want to go ahead and add files to my knowledge base. So I have these files right here, right? This basically describes all the vehicles on my website. So I've just taken all the details of all those vehicles and added them in here. So basically I want the AI to have access to all these knowledges. So if you have more knowledge that you want your AI to have access to, you can put all of them into a PDF file, into a Google Docs file, and then basically download this as a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and download this as a PDF file. So download, and you can see it's basically downloaded right there. So once I have that downloaded, I'm going to go ahead in here, click on upload, and I'm going to go ahead and drag in this. So once I have that dragged in there, yeah, so that's all I need to do, and I can go ahead and you can also add raw text here if you want to. So you can go ahead, copy this, and just simply paste it in here if you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and simply click on update, sorry, upload. And that's going to go ahead and create my knowledge base. So I can see it right here. So it's been created, right? So I can delete this thing or just leave it as it is. Okay. So, and then you can specify things like the threshold of how confident the AI should use, right? So you can see maximum marginal relevance. You can use that. You can also use the HDIE or some more the MMR, or you can use the basic retrieval. So I have talked about the maximum marginal relevance on my channel. So you can check that out if you want to, but that's basically it. So once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and go back in here. And I'm going to go ahead and say allow knowledge bases, refresh this, and then go ahead and select the knowledge base. So I'm going to be using that knowledge base. You can set the retrieval threshold and all those things, right? So kind of like how much score you want to get in terms of the similarity search. So once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and click on save, and that's going to go ahead and save that knowledge base. Okay, I don't want to use this. I want short-term memory. I want long-term memory. So if you have watched my videos previously, we talk about long-term memory and short-term memory, right? So basically, I'm allowing the agent to use long and short-term memory. And if you have watched the previous videos, we actually coded an agent from scratch, which is a customer support agent that has both short-term memory and long-term memory, right? So you can take a look at that. So you can also look into humanize to make the AI responses more humanized, right? So you can add a bunch of things like groundedness, relevance, and all those things, all these like retrieval metrics, accuracy matrices. And I've also talked about this in my other videos on the channel, so you can take a look at this. Things like fairness, toxicity, and all those, right? So you can take a look at all this, and you can also have human in the loop. Right now, it's upcoming; it's not yet fully done yet. So once you have that, you can go ahead and click on create. So good. So our agent has been created. So you can come in here, update stuff. But once you update stuff in here, make sure that you come and click on update, right? So that the new changes are reflected. So let's say I come and add a reflection piece here. I have to come and click here, update, for it to show, right? But now I don't want that, so I'm going to turn that off and then click on update. Okay. So once you can go ahead and ask the question. So let's say tell me more about. So let's just go back in here. I want to ask more about operating hours. I think in here I specify the operating hours. Yeah. So let me just go in here and just say tell me more about your operating hours. So run that. So basically this is my question right here, asking about the operating hours. So this seems to be taking a bit long. So while you're waiting for that, let me show you a bit of the other aspects of the AI agent. So once you have the agent created, now you can go ahead and embed the agents within your own custom website. So basically all you have to do is simply copy this and embed within your website. So once I've already done that already, and I've embedded the agent within my website, and you can see it right there, which you have looked at previously. So once the agent is embedded within your website, you can go ahead and ask it different kinds of questions. Right, so that's one of the things you can do. That's once you have the agent created on Lyzr, all you have to come and do is go in here, click on this, go on interfaces, right? Copy this link and then embed this within your website. So right now it's using curl. So depending on your website application, you can convert this into something that you can simply embed within in here. That's what I have done in my case, right? So I'm actually running this thing on using Next.js. So I'm running Next.js, and I've just embedded the curl command, converted it into Next.js code, and then simply embed it within my website. So I think I know one of the reasons why this is taking long, because I currently ran out of credits in this case, right? So I ran out of credits with testing around and playing around with this. But once I increment my credits, I should get all the responses in here, right? So yeah, that's all I wanted to us talk about this video. And if you want, guys, you want to connect with me more, you can find me on Medium, where I write articles about AI and stuff like that. So you can find me on AI programming and generally mostly AI stuff, right? So you can find me on Medium at Prince Crumper. You can find me on YouTube, hopefully where you're watching this video, at Code with Prince. You can also follow me on Twitter, aka X, at Prince_Crumper. Or if you have any suggestions, any ideas for future videos, you want us to build on any, work together on any projects, you can find me at Prince Crumper, where I also write basically Prince Crumper on Medium. I post YouTube videos on there, and also link to my Medium articles as well. So follow me on Prince Crumper if you have any project suggestions, or you want to us to work together on anything. Follow me on LinkedIn, Prince Crumper. Or any questions, I'm much faster to respond to you on Medium. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and thanks again back to the sponsor of this video. This wouldn't have been possible without the support and sponsor of Lyzr. So you guys should go ahead, check out Lyzr AI Studio, and make sure that you build AI studios and chatbots and stuff like that. It's really, really easy to do. You don't have to really pay someone a ton of money to get this feature on your website that is based on your own data. It's actually very simple to do. So you don't have to really spend a ton of money on this. And Lyzr makes it way, way easier for every one of us to be able to do that and do it in a very reliable way. So you guys, thank you so much. Make sure you check out Lyzr, and thanks again for Lyzr for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for watching as well. See you in the next video. Keep safe.